Here's a common problem with this particular stairway, and this landing wouldn't meet local building codes today, but obviously did back in the 1970s when I first started putting stairs in. We did this all the time. Now the problem with this particular stairway is that not as much when you're walking up, but you can just imagine you're going to hug the narrower side. You know, you're not going to walk over to the wider side, step up here, and then walk up the stairway. You're usually going to be hugging the inside of the stairway. You're coming around the corner, you're going up the stairs, and you could actually be coming from another angle where you get a nice step here and a nice step here. But you can see that they're not long. These aren't very wide steps, so, and of course they narrow down. If you're stepping over here and then stepping over here, you're not really stepping on much. Moving over here, you're going to be stepping on something a little that's going to be a little wider. So this is actually a question someone sent in. They wanted to know how they could redesign this type of stairway. They had 9-inch wide treads, 8-inch tall risers, which was the maximum distance on a riser was 8 inches. The minimum distance on a tread was 9 inches when I was installing stairs back in the late 1970s and the early 80s. So this is a common stairway we're looking at right here, but it's not always going to be the safest. And the people that asked the question, they actually realize this and would like to make it redesign the stairway. So that's why I'm making the video. The first suggestion I would like to make would be to get rid of the angled stairway. And you could simply do this by framing a box in here. If the existing, you could use the existing angle step and simply just build to it to fill it in and make it flat, and then just add a step to the bottom. This would be a simple solution to get rid of this particular problem. Now, if you would like to make the stairs a little longer, make the steps a little longer, you could always add another step coming out. So you would have 2 steps coming up to a square landing, and then you would simply remove a tread from here. So if you went back and counted, I believe the other one was 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You eliminate a tread, and then you'd have to rebuild the stairway, obviously. But this would allow you to get a wider stairway. So if you had a 9-inch stairway, a 9-inch step, and you eliminated one of the steps, you would almost have 10 inches, I believe, if I do my math right. This would be close enough to a better stairway. And you can always put a nosing on the stairway too. So instead of, let's go back to see this scene here, instead of having a square where the riser is square and this is the tread is flat, you could have a nosing, a 1-inch nosing protrude out. And if you need more information on that, just simply type that into a search engine or visit our website. You should be able to find something on that. So this is one way to solve the problem, and this is actually what I'm suggesting that the people who asked the question do. You would rebuild this stairway and add a couple of steps to the front. Now, if you need wider steps, you want to have maybe 11-inch steps, simply add another step to the bottom here. So instead of having 2, now we would have 3 up to a landing, and then you could have 8 treads up here. And if, let's just say that you wanted to change the rise, then you could always stay with the 9 steps and then add another step down here, and then this would lower the height of each individual riser. And you could always add another step. So you could make this, instead of having 3, you could always have 4. So if you're redesigning the stairway and you have the room, you don't have any obstacles in the way, then you can put as many steps in as you want and redesign the stairway. Now I am going to put a link in here that might be helpful for redesigning stairs with that are steep, like you would have here. And remember, most steep stairways are a result of cramped in spaces. They just don't have the room to put the stairway in there, and they do the best they can. And as long as it meets local building codes, which a long time ago they did. I put stairs in plenty of times that had 8-inch risers and 9-inch treads. 9-inch wide treads, and they were uncomfortable and unsafe to walk on. I had my little tricks to maximize the step, like I said, adding a nosing to it, putting an undercut and a nosing, combining a variety of different tricks to get it to work more efficiently. But the bottom line is they're not as safe as the stairs, the building codes back then. They have been changed for good reasons. So anyway, I'll put the link in right here, and don't forget to check that video out also.